Hey there, welcome to the second part of this video. Should I switch schools for my child? Alright, you guys, so on the first part, I ended up talking about how I was able to have a mini meeting with the school principal at the end of the day, and how I was telling him that I was concerned about the load of work and the things that were happening at school. And the response that he gave me, he was like, well, we are following the guidelines of the county. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. And I didn't want to tell him this, but I have a bachelor's degree in elementary education, and I graduated. I'm not trying to brag, but I graduated summa cum laude. So I knew what I was talking about. So, but I didn't tell him that, and I never told any of the teachers that because I didn't want them to think that I was trying to step on their toes. But I did want to be involved in this process, and I wanted to let them know that I was concerned. So besides him saying, we're following the guidelines of the county, we're trying to prepare them for middle school. And at the same time, he was like, because I told him, hey, the workload is not normal. He was like, well, at the same time, it's just me, and it's hard to find new resources. You know what that means, right? It would be hard for him to fire someone and trust that person, go through all the process that they have to go through, especially because not everybody wants to be a teacher. Not everybody has the patience. So I put myself in his shoes, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm the one that has to just move. So I'll kind of let it slide and just say, hey, maybe things are gonna get better. So some time went by, and I started getting complaints from the teachers of Tara's behavior. And I was like, wait a second, I know and I understand, kids are growing, they're gonna do kids things, sometimes they're gonna have, changes in behavior. Sometimes you gotta take a look at the root of the problem too. Where is it all coming from? So I started getting complaints, like, for example, that she kicked somebody's backpack while their backpack was on. And but you know I couldn't hear the backstory, like what happened before. Has she been having any strange encounters with that kid? So that's something that I feel like the teachers would not find time to do. So what I did was I asked, Tara, what happened, and she's like, well, this kid in particular had been teasing me for the last few weeks. And he would say things like, hey, move away or something, or tease her, and talk to her in a rude way. And I'm like, is this something that I asked Tara, is this something that you brought up to the teacher? And she's like, no, because you know they don't, they just go like that. And I'm like, well, that's not good that they disregard your concerns too. So I I'm glad that she apologized to the kid, but I wanted to dig a little deeper and say, hey, what's going on? Because Tara is not usually like that. What's happening with this kid? let me see if I can, talk to the teacher and see if we can make this better. So I actually asked for a meeting with both of her teachers and the counselor. So we all sat down, and I told my daughter, please don't be afraid to speak up of anything that that has been going on too, because you have a right to speak as well. So apparently there is another kid too that was they used to be friends. He started bullying her, and I told, let's name this kid B. Okay, so I told um Tara, about this kid, that had started bullying you as well, the second kid. Why don't you tell the teacher? And she's like, well, I told in the meeting, I told her, but she just went like that. And I asked the teacher, so my daughter thinks you are dismissing her concerns too. Why is that? Is that true that you didn't do anything when she once, asked you why this kid is bullying? And the counselor was looking at her like with her eyes open like that, and she was like, well, is he, he's always doing the same thing to other kids. I always tell him, but why not address that right away? You can't just let it slip. You can't just tell a kid to calm down. No. You got to get to the root, and if you have to meet with the parent to stop it and stop, because guess what happens? Then it starts creating tensions with other kids, you know, and things start building up. And then if everybody is silenced, and then other kids are gonna be in trouble, but you don't look at what's the real trouble here, you know. So anyways, there's a lot more to say, but time is running out. I decided it was better to change Tara of schools. um I believe, the change was going to be good. Anyway, so I changed her of schools, and zero complaints. I haven't received a complaint from her whatsoever. Most of the work that is done at school is mostly instruction. She does very well with state testing. She's doing great with math, with reading. She comes back home in a great mood. She feels like they listen to her. She feels like she's learning something at school. So the point is, sometimes you have to put things on a balance. And sometimes if you need to move to change school for the benefit of the emotional well-being of your child, do it. Because you are going to thank yourself later for it. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for listening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.